Hello everyone, glad to see you once again with another English lesson, and in today's lesson we're going to have a discussion on how to use visual clues to derive the meaning of texts. Let's get started. Right, before having a discussion on this particular slide, I just want to tell you what these visual clues are. For example, imagine that you are reading a storybook. We'll say story of Cinderella, and then you come across a sentence which describes the stepmother of Cinderella, which says Cinderella's stepmother was a plump woman. You don't know the meaning of the word plump, but on the next page you have a picture of the stepmother. As soon as you look at the picture, you get a clear picture or a clear idea of the word plump. You can guess the meaning of the word plump, right? So this is what visual clues can do, right? Visual clues can come in different types. Look at this slide. It can be a picture, it can be a chart, a graph, or even drawing. It can be a table, a grid, or signs, logos, etc. We make use of them in order to find the idea of a given text when this appears with a text. Let's start the lesson slowly. Right, look at this image. You can see a girl, and also in this corner you can see a stamp album. Right, let's read the paragraph and see whether we can guess the meaning of the word which is highlighted. Binara has a nice stamp album. She has a large collection of stamps. There are about 500 stamps in her stamp album. She is a good philatelist. Have you heard this word before? Philatelist. Right. Imagine that you don't know the meaning of this word. This image given on the slide would definitely help you to guess the meaning. Right. Binara collects stamps. She has more than 500 stamps. She maintains a stamp album. That clearly gives us a clue that she is interested in collecting stamps. So obviously we can guess the meaning of the word philatelist. That is another word for someone who collects stamps. Got it? Right. Let's move on to another picture clue. We have a text as well as a picture. What do you see in the picture? Right, observe the picture and let's read the text as well. And there too you have a special word which is highlighted in red. I visited the zoo last vacation with my family. The most interesting place I visited there is the aviary. I saw many kinds of beautiful birds there. They are kept in large cages. It is a paradise of birds. Right, what do you see in the picture? And see whether you can guess the meaning of the word aviary. The person who is describing says that he or she has gone to the zoo, and there he saw beautiful birds in a cage. Right? You can see the picture very clearly. These birds are not in the wilderness. They are inside a cage. So obviously an aviary means a place where the birds are kept. Actually in a zoo, the birds are kept in cages. Right? Okay, let's move on to another word like that. Observe the picture. I know you have guessed the animal correctly. Kangaroo is a mammal, lives in Australia and in the Indonesian island in New Guinea. It is a plant eater. A female kangaroo carries its baby in her pouch. What is a pouch? Observe the picture and see where the baby is. Is the kangaroo carrying the baby? Using hands? No, right? Okay, you can see where the baby is. So the kangaroo carries the baby in a pouch. So this part of the kangaroo's body is called a pouch, right? We'll slowly move on to another picture clue. Here we have a dialogue between Kavish and Menuka. Hi Menuka, where are you going? I'm going to the aquarium. Is it close by? Yes, I want to buy some fish for my fish tank. You know, if you want to buy fish to eat, you go to a fish market. You go to a place like this to buy ornamental fish. Fish you have at home, you keep at home as pets. What do you think the meaning of the word aquarium? A place where they sell ornamental fish. Right, now let's start doing an activity. Where can you see the notices given below? Observe carefully, each of these notices has a visual clue. So observe the visual clue carefully and then tell me where you can see these notices. I'm not going to help you with anything. Observe very carefully. I won't be able to show it to you once again. So this is A. Take a good look at it, please. Hope the image is clear. Right, keep in mind, this is A. B. C. Observe very carefully and guess the place. This is D. E. And F. Right? Hope you remember the images and now see whether you can match these places with those images. We had 6 images there from A to F, and there are 6 places here: a religious place, zoo, construction site, a river, bus, railway crossing. See whether you can write the correct letter in these boxes, matching the images with these places. I don't think it's a difficult task. Okay, let's check the answers now. Picture D, at a religious place. You know that when you enter a religious place, especially a temple, you have to remove your hats. So they say no for hats. A, picture A, you find it at a zoo. What does that say? Do not feed animals. Picture F, at a construction site. This must have been a common site. You must have seen it at many places, at many construction sites, where it says danger, men at work. And then picture C, at a river. You can't simply go jump into a river and start swimming. Have to be very careful about these signs. Do not bathe, no bathing. Picture D, in a bus, reserved for disabled. Picture E, at a railway crossing, danger, unguarded level crossing. Right, hope you did a good job. Let's move on slowly to the other task. Right, once again, we have 4 picture clues, 4 visuals. I'm not going to help you, I'm not going to read or explain. You're going to observe the pictures very carefully. Take a very good look at these images, please, because the next activity is surely based on these 4 images. You can even jot it down. Let me slowly move on to the activity. Find a suitable place. You observed 4 images which showed you 4 different places, and see whether you can do this activity. You want to get your tooth filled. Where would you go? You want to watch a film. You want to rent a car for a month. You want to give vaccination for your pet dog. When you have the visual clues, even though you don't understand the meaning of certain words, you can definitely guess your answer by looking at the picture. Right. For this, I can actually show you the images. Hope you are done. Right. You want to get your tooth filled, you go to a dental clinic. You want to watch a film, you go to a cinema. You want to rent a car for a month, you go to a place where it says rent a car. You want to give vaccination for your pet dog, so you go to an animal clinic. Right. Let's start another activity. Your science teacher wants your help to rearrange the science lab, and she has asked you to keep certain equipment in different boxes and paste these signs on the relevant box. Right? So let's take a look at these signs. First one, keep dry. Observe the visual clue carefully. B, handle with care. C, do not drop. D, this side up. E, fragile. What do you mean by fragile? From the visual clue, you can understand that it shows a broken glass. So fragile means it can break. Right? Okay. Let's move on to the next slide and see what you have arranged in the boxes. First one, beakers and tubes. You know what these are made of. Box 2, thermometers. Box 3, a microscope. Box 4, hand lenses. Box 5, sodium metal. Right? I shall take you back to the visual clues. Please observe and see whether you can paste the correct sign on the correct box. Let me show the boxes once again. Beakers and tubes, thermometers, microscope, hand lenses and sodium metal. Right. Another simple activity. Hope you are done. Let's take a look at the answers now. First one, beakers and tubes, fragile. So you have to keep it very carefully, otherwise you may break it. So they are fragile. So you paste that on that particular box. Second one, thermometers. What visual clue are you going to use? The second one, handle with care. Right? Third one, microscope. This side up, because you know if you keep it upside down, you can damage the microscope. Box 4, hand lenses. Do not drop. You know what would happen if you drop them down. And finally, sodium metal. Keep dry. Why? You know that it reacts explosively with water. Right. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, children. Before I wind up the lesson, let me remind you what we did throughout this lesson. You know how important these visual clues are. We can use visual clues to derive meaning of the text. So when you are given visual clues, please observe very carefully so that you can derive the idea from the visual clues itself so that you can understand the meaning of the text. Okay, that's it for today, and thank you. Stay blessed.